We're back on Eurosport on the Dakar with myself, Mark Cole, and looking at the cars now. Just 49 of the 115 left in the event. Like the bikes, only 40% of the entry remaining. Of the trucks, just 9 of 35 left. Early leader Gilbert Vecino was out on special stage 12, and Tatra's Carol Lepraise, twice a winner already, is leading the truck stages. Well, just a reminder that after the Dakar Rally finishes Sunday, Eurosport will be bringing you nightly coverage of the Monte Carlo Rally, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday with Ben Edwards, the start of our 1998 World Rally Championship coverage. A first for Eurosport. Make sure you don't miss that after the Dakar. On action today, Jutta Kleinschmidt starting 26, Akira Asai in the Isuzu starting 20th, and Jean-Pierre Strugo for Mitsubishi starts this morning as a T1 leader. Here he is on board the 11th place car. The Portuguese, Yippie Strugo for Mitsubishi. Ramon Villa Altimar, the man who's just passed, is second in T1, but both will lose their first and second places today. More on that later. Jean-Louis Schlesser, fifth in his Renault V6 powered buggy after all sorts of problems on the rally. Let's go on board Schlesser with his co-driver Anne Chantal Pauwels. Well, she's saying, I don't know quite which way we should take amongst these buildings. We should either go straight across the village or do we go to the left or right? We just don't know. It doesn't say in the road book. Well, he chooses the straight through route. As you can see there, pictures of the Sahara creeping and engulfing these villages and forests. It's heading south at about 5 kilometers a year still. Well, this is Mauritania, country of 1 million square kilometers, 2.2 million population, which means it is very, very sparsely inhabited. Fontenay in the checkpoint, followed by Shinazuka, the leader, 46 minutes ahead at the moment. Shinazuka starting third this morning. And let's go on board with Jean-Pierre Fontenay and his co-driver, Gilles Picard, former bike racer. See what they've got to say about today's terrain. There's water right in the middle of the Sahara. Fontenay telling us I think it's going to be more difficult today because it gets more and more soft as we go further west. Trying as hard as I can, but we're on the limit now. Anyway, if we know there's something wrong, we've got the team spirit and that helps a lot. If Shino gets stuck, I'll stop and help him. And indeed, Shino does get stuck. I'm going to have to pass to the right, he says. Shino running up the dune to warn them. Keep over, keep to the right. Over they go. Well, he says we're going to go and help him. I'm not going to leave him like that in the middle of the desert. Come on, we'll go up onto the grass over there. Just up there. Look, there's some grass. Oh. That's it. Well, that was very tight. So they get themselves on a bit of firm ground as Jean-Louis Schlesser comes through. Says Bruno Sabi also stuck there. He started second this morning, so two of the Mitsubishis stuck at the moment. There is Sabi's car, and there is Shinazuka's. Fontenay just finding some firm ground, help his friends. Jutta Kleinschmidt, look at her there, 30th overall, and she is well and truly stuck in the sand. Well, Sabi goes on to win the stage. Second, 42 minutes back from Fontenay, but team orders are now starting to come into play. Ulrich Bremer has something to say about that later in this item. So everyone working hard in these Cinquetti dunes, and just look how deep that sand is. Sabi gets going, stops again immediately. Fontenay and Shino together. Fontenay pulling Sabi out. Well, meanwhile, Bob ten Harkel, the Dutch driver, goes on to win the stage for T1 and takes the overall lead of T1. He won that category in 1994. And in his Geico Mitsubishi, looks like he's on the way to success as Sabi gets going again, with the rest of the Mitsubishi team looking on. Real team spirit, as you heard Fontenay saying on board. Well, Jutta Kleinschmidt and Jean-Louis Schlesser helping each other. This is, in fact, Jutta pushing Schlesser's car, as you can see. Again, real team spirit here in the Gauloise buggy team. Let's hear what Jutta had to say about that. Well, we lost our way and now we're stuck in these dunes where we're not even supposed to be. We have to try now to get out of this area as quickly as possible. I think the main route, according to the GPS, is about 2 kilometers from here in that direction. Well, the two buggies get together, Schlesser and Kleinschmidt, and they get themselves out of trouble onto the harder ground and out of those dunes. Well, let's hear what Sabi and Shinizuka had to say about today's stage. Bruno Sabi saying, well, on the Dakar, there's no small stages, everything's just huge. Even if there's only 10 kilometers of trouble in 200 kilometers or 100 kilometers, it's enough to drive you mad and to be a real nightmare. We did well today because of the team solidarity. We understood that when the going's not good, you have to think as a team and save it instead of thinking about itself. It pays again today, and it's the strength for the Mitsubishi team. It's all teamwork.
So it was not so wrong day, but it was a little bit difficult. We stuck one time and we had one punch, and also load was a very difficult to find because not many tire marks, very, very difficult. So, but we arrived. It's okay.
And Ulrich Bremer. Well, he's telling us now exactly what's been planned. We had a meeting of our drivers in Gao on Sunday night at the halfway point, and we all agreed there'll be no team orders until we get to Bouty-Limit. That's tomorrow night, Friday evening. The last two stages were extremely hard, and Fontenay has increased his lead now to around, I think, 45 minutes ahead of Sabi. Been very hard indeed. In fact, 42 minutes. During today's stage, Sabi and Shinizuka automatically covered the back of Fontenay. That's what the drivers are here for. That means all the drivers agreed without team orders that Fontenay, who drove a superb rally so far, should win this year's Dakar. If he does, it'll be his first, and we really hope he can make it. So again, Bremer underlining the team spirit that exists at Mitsubishi and the team spirit that's helped them win so many Dakar rallies. So team orders tomorrow night, you've heard that, and tomorrow night is the Attar to Bouty-Limit stage, the Valley of Wonders. Anyway, first to look at today's results. Sabi, Shinizuka, Fontenay, the three Mitsubishi drivers all helping each other. And Jacques Houssier there in the Nissan doing very well tonight. Masuoka and Schlesser coming up 5th and 6th places. That makes the overall order a little change. Fontenay from Sabi, Shinizuka, Masuoka, Schlesser and Alio. Schlesser seems to be stuck permanently in 5th on this rally. Well, let's have a look at tomorrow's stage, see what it's going to be like. As we mentioned, Attar to Bouty-Limit. It was to have been 500 kilometers, but now shortened to 296 kilometers, as only 50% of the vehicles have arrived in Attar at this time this evening. This will be the third marathon section with wadis, seas of dunes, and ends with a giant 25-kilometer wadi flat out. So the route, in fact, a bit straighter than the one you've just seen. We'll be back same time tomorrow night. Join me, Mark Cole, on Eurosport on the Dakar. See you then.
Dakar Rally with
overall leader Stefan Peterhansel. Bruno Sabi stuck again, losing 1 hour 27 minutes and second place to Shinizuka. And Fontenay, the car stage winner for the 5th time on this year's event. In the programme we look also at how Mitsubishi data logs its stage information. Well, you join me, Mark Cole, on Eurosport, looking back at yesterday's action. 6th place, Jordi Arcaron's running hard in these desert features here, incredible stages on the run from Nema to Attar, and he stops at Richard Sykes' broken KTM. The chassis is broken, the frame is broken on the KTM, and Archerons can do nothing, leaves a very upset Richard Sykes. Flying Dutchman Gerard Jimming wins the stage for KTM by almost 6 minutes, but it's that lone Yamaha amongst all the KTMs who is still leading by 32 minutes, even though Stefan Pethansel was stuck on occasion like this in the deep dunes in the Chungeti Desert. Not just bikes, but cars as well. All three Mitsubishis that are leading the rally stuck in the sand at some stage. Well, after they all sorted themselves out, Fontenay still leading the cars, Pethansel still leading the bikes as they headed to Attar for the night bivouac after a 2-day marathon with no assistance. Well, here's the night bivouac at Attar, where Briton John Deacon, riding with Plymouth-based Australian Andy Coker, was among several bikers who lost time. John tells us all about it.
I feel like I want to go home now, you know. It's like the race is finished for me after today's disaster. The guy in, I think, a medical helicopter stopped me on the track and told me to turn around and go back to CP3. I didn't understand why, because he spoke very little, he spoke hardly any English, and so I returned back to the CP only to find out that he'd given me completely the wrong information, you know. This evening he has apologised and said it was a misunderstanding, but it's cost me 2 hours and 3 places, you know. I would be up to position number 6 now, and instead I'm 2 hours behind, you know. So I'm very disappointed.
Never you won a stage in the Dakar, and maybe it's for you tomorrow.
Well, no, because I don't feel angry like I want to go and prove a point, you know. If you can be consistent in this race, then I believe it's possible to finish in the first 5. But for sure, tonight I'm very angry. But I think it's the wrong anger, you know, to go to the line tomorrow and to crash, and you know, I just have to try and forget it and just take tomorrow as being another day, you know.
Well, that is Cornish understatement, as you'll find out in a minute. Scenes from last night's bivouac at Attar, and then today's stage coming up, shortened to 296 kilometers because of the threat of sandstorms blowing across Mali on the route to Boutelimit. Everyone getting really tired now after 16 days on the road. Still 3 more to go. Well, this is today's stage, as we said, shortened, the stage through the Adrar Mountains, a difficult stage anyway, with wadis, the dried up riverbeds, deserts, and many saying the hardest, but then also hampered by 75-kilometer winds. Some of the helicopters grounded today, and just 56 of the 172 bikes starting. Only one BMW is still remaining. The others all out with clutch problems. Oscar Gallardo and Andrea Meyer among 5 retirements this morning. Amazing stage, but difficult. The dust hanging in the air despite those sandstorms. Hubert, the rally organizer, took the decision to shorten the stage. And that's something that played straight into the hands of Plymouth-based Cornishman John Deacon. Many saying this is the finest part of the Dakar this year. The Adrar Mountains and the dunes. Hubertorial.
The sandstorm that we're just having now is quite difficult, and after all they had, it was not really necessary, but we shortened the stage because there's a very difficult erg to go through today, and we decided it was unreasonable to send them there. So they stopped there, and but even if it's shorter, it's quite difficult with visibility, which is really, really bad.
And again, these spectacular scenes from the Dakar. It has not changed in 20 years, and long may it live. Stefan Petter-Hansel and Jimmy Jimmink starting first and fifth overall. Jimmink on the green KTM, yesterday's stage winner, and Petter-Hansel on the blue Yamaha, now with 32-minute lead as they started this morning. Even then today, people finding the route not quite where they thought it was. A lot of waddies and valleys. On board with Eric Bernard. Bernard telling everybody at speed, well, it's a hard stage today. It's I've been following Geordie and Stefan and the others trying to find the way. They had some difficulties finding a pass, which was in the village. Me too, because I was behind them. Petter-Hansel riding there, still with Jimmink. And again, these incredible dunes just waiting to catch the unwary. Everybody following each other. Only 2 stages to go after today's. Out of the rally, Eric Bernard. Soon after talking to us, his suspension broke on the 16th of 18 days when lying 6th overall. I've broken the shock absorber housing, he said. I'm really disappointed because I've been so cautious over the last 15 days. I was 6th in the general ranking today, and I'm sure I could get up to 3rd place, so I'm extremely disappointed. So Bernard out of 6th place. Of course, that meant John Deacon immediately having a chance to move up. And Deacon not only did that, he bettered everything by winning the stage by 14 minutes 57 seconds from Petter-Hansel. He's back up to 8th overall after being 9th yesterday. And he is the 11th winner in 15 stages. Here he is. John Deacon from Saltash in Cornwall, sponsored by Maidenette, Nick Ashley and a whole host of others, and thousands of messages still pouring into his website. Don't forget it, www.johndeacon.co.uk. 104 messages came in this afternoon in the first hour after news broke of his win. And just to top all that, it's John's mother's birthday today. His wife Tracy also leaving a message. Excellent day, knew you could do it. Get home safe, your toothbrush is waiting. John Deacon left his toothbrush with his toilet bag in Spain and has been travelling, well, al fresco ever since. Jimmink, 5th on the stage, 5th overall. We just saw before him Andy Hayden, 4th on the stage and 3rd overall. Picking up Alfie Cox now, the South African. There he is, 6th on the stage and 4th overall. And Geordie Archerons at one of the checkpoints coming in. He's in 6th overall, just 2 places ahead of Britain's John Deacon. Archerons into the checkpoint, and right behind him, Fabrizio Mioni, 2nd overall today. But we talked to Petter-Hansel, to Hayden, and of course to stage winner